Hello. Hi, Puebla. How are you? Are you good? Are you okay? I said, are you good? Are you okay? Good. It's nice to see you. My name's Shlomo, and I'd like to ask the question, what is the point of creative rules and restrictions? Well, I'm going to try and show you in the next 15 minutes. I'm a musician and a composer and a technologist and a beatboxer, which means I make music with my mouth. 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 Break. Okay, so this is my machine I've built. I don't know what to call this thing, so we'll have a little play. You can record anything you want and it can kind of loop and manipulate it, so I could say something like, oh no, oh yeah, oh no, oh yeah, oh no, oh yeah, oh no, oh yeah. Oh no! Oh yeah! Oh, the boy make a big noise, saying that you're gonna be a big man someday. You got mud on your face, big disgrace, living your money all over the place. Oh, the boy make a big noise, saying that you're gonna be a big man someday. You got mud on your face, big disgrace, living your money all over the place. Oh, the boy make a big noise, saying that you're gonna be a big man someday. You got mud on your face, big disgrace, living your money all over the place. Funny, you're a boy, make a big noise, playing in the street, gonna be a big man someday. You got mud on your face, big disgrace, waving your banner all over the place. Buddy, you're a boy, make a big noise, playing in the street, gonna be a big man someday. You got mud on your face, big disgrace, waving your banner all over the place. Buddy, you're a boy, make a big noise, playing in the street, gonna be a big man someday. You got mud on your face, big disgrace, waving your banner all over the place. Buddy, you're a boy, make a big noise, playing in the street, gonna be a big man someday. You got mud on your face, big disgrace, waving your banner all over the place.
Okay. Sounds good. Puebla, if anyone's out there, somebody say, oh yeah! Say, oh yeah! Say, oh my gosh! Say, no, it's okay, it's okay. Don't worry, I'll do all this for you. Yo. If it's okay with you, I'd like to tell you a story. Is that okay, people? Okay, when I was 18 years old, I left home to go to university. I went to university to go and study physics with astrophysics. I went to study physics with astrophysics. And I'm aware that I'm in the company of some of the world's leading physics and astrophysics professors. So I'm not going to pretend I took it very far. In fact, all I'm going to say about it is that mathematics and marijuana do not mix. But when I left home, it was like an entirely different planet. It felt like I'd gone to outer space. For a start, I'd never been to a drum and bass rave before. Anyone here know about drum and bass? Who knows about drum and bass? Yeah, 3 people. Let me tell you, drum and bass is a culture from Bristol, from the west of England. It's an underground rave culture where people go to dark nightclubs and they have very loud parties. And I'll tell you a story about my first drum and bass rave. Is that okay? Puebla, is that okay? Okay. Here I am, 18 years old, and me and my newfound friends, we walk into this cavernous nightclub to be greeted by a sea of bodies pulsating in the dark, much like you right now, full of energy. Anyway, every single one of my drum and bass heroes seemed to be DJing this night. Let me see, there were people called Fabio and Groove Rider, one of my heroes. DJ Hype, one of my heroes. Levin D and Dillinger. The list goes on and on and on. the MCs. The MCs are in charge of making sure everyone is having a good time. And there were two MCs that my friend told me to look out for in particular. One called MC Shabba and another called MC Skibbity. But there was this one MC that no one had ever heard of before, and he was taking the place by storm. All he said was, ignore your neighbors, close your eyes, and when I say, just move. Feel the rush coming. 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 Feel the rush. Inhale, inhale, drop. I was like, oh my gosh. I was like, oh my gosh, this is amazing. This is all I've ever lived for. From now on, drum and bass is my life. Cause I don't care what you do to me. I don't care, I don't care. Cause I don't care what you do to me. I don't care, I don't care. Cause I don't care what you do to me. I don't care, I don't care. Cause I don't care what you do to me. I don't care, I don't care. Somebody been the boat to the bus, somebody been the boat to the orchid jaw. Somebody been the boat to the mountain, the mountain, make one more. Now this is yours, sit the somebody boat the jaw. So make you hype. Thank you. You can sit down if you want, it's okay. So I have to ask myself these questions about making music and creativity, because I've always set myself these creative rules since I was very young. People always ask me the same questions. They say, dude, when did you find out you could beatbox like that? As if I kind of woke up last Thursday and did some kind of slightly painful sneeze and discovered that I'd turned into superstar beatbox man. But that's not true, that's not true. Thank you. That's very kind of you to clap for my imaginary difficult experience. Yeah, it's been with me since I was a child. I started learning drums when I was 8 years old. My parents bought me a drum kit, but do you know what they said to me? They said, son, here is your first ever drum kit. We know you really want a drum kit, but please don't play the drum kit. I wasn't allowed to practice my drums in the evenings or the weekends or any time really, because it would annoy the neighbors. So I decided to try and experiment with my voice, just to explore, just to see what rhythms I could make. It wasn't really something I was going to do to show other people. It was just a technique for creating rhythm, but it went so well. Before long, by the time I was 19, 20, I found myself touring all over the world, performing my music. And I thought, you know what, the secret here is because I'm doing it all with my voice. I spent the whole of my career trying to push the human voice to the limits. I ended up kind of creating a rule for myself, which was I'd only ever use my voice. Sometimes I've hated the rule, and sometimes I've loved the rule. But I feel like if you can create some creative limitations, it encourages you to find things you otherwise would never have found. Happy accidents and such. But there always comes a day when you're ready to break your rule. So I feel that's another key point. So I don't just use my voice now. I feel like you have to restrict yourself and push yourselves to the very limit and then break those rules and do something new. Puebla, have you had an exciting and inspiring kind of day? I'm glad to hear it. I'm about to leave. I got here a few hours ago and about to fly back to London, but it's been a real honor and a pleasure. Thank you very much for having me. My name's Shlomo.
Shh.